Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Face to Face with your favorite host, our beloved Marty. Today's show is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm your host,
our beloved Miss Marty.
Here on Face to Face, bringing you today's global events in real time. Today we have a very special guest, so please help me welcome Mr. Chaz Digital. Please take your seat. Let's get right into it. First off, it's extraordinary that you documented your experiences in the midst of our global crisis. Since your recovery, you have truly been an inspiration to the entire world. For our viewers watching from home, they're all wondering, what was it like from your perspective?
In overwhelming traumatic events, the brain will attempt to block one's thoughts, one's feelings, to protect itself. This is called dissociation. Yet I archived everything. So even after these moments yet passed, I'd have those repressed memories. Alas, day in, day out, this was tested. In hindsight, maybe it was the onset of fear that we all felt susceptible to. But I knew it had to be written. So naive to the journey ahead, the road not yet traveled. These moments were comparable to a nuclear detonation. After seeing our entire sky filled with light, we were waiting for the shockwave. And as for the sound that follows, it had gone global. Oh, how gluttonous we were, all of us, stockpiling our reserves and leaving nothing for spoil, following any and all precautionary steps listed by the CDC, the new religion. And this was only until we lost connectivity that they shut it down. One could only assume their fate. But in the midst of it, I continued to archive everything. With no sense of an end ahead, blind and offline, this was my story. Even without a means of connection to the outside world, my daily log of events were tracked. It had been weeks now, off the network. Without a sense of reality at real time, the mind's left to wonder. But within the local community, there were rumors of government intervention, shut-ins, furloughs, and mandatory lockdowns. These were all up for grabs, indefinite, until now. They trapped us. They moved in swift, stealthy, militant. Truckloads of patrols flooded our streets, enforcing what was later confirmed general order. Again, the mind raced with questions. Could they really implement such provisions? What about the others? How will we survive without guidance? How do I ration my meals with no end in sight? The amount of stress was sickening. And now, remember that lit sky filled with color? It was now time for the fallout. We were going dark. Shortly after the laptop battery de-energized, I was forced to log my Luna entries physically. It was only a matter of time until the inevitable would transpire. This was for those on the front line. Those we took for granted. Our invisible heroes. Those out of sight, out of mind. Who, you might ask? Those who kept our lights on. The ones who manned our plants, supply factories, our unions, our hospitals, our clinics. I made sure you all had a page in my book. We all deserve our roses while we're here, and so to you, I say thank you. And as for me, time had become a new commodity. And as a result, from the unexpected loss of power, I could not maintain proper hygiene. My hair had grown long, my skin developed rashes. No pun intended, this just scratched the surface. Remember all those selfish acts? The hoarding of food and toiletries? Ironically, it had all gone to waste. And my safe haven now reeked and was sweltering due to the humidity. And day by day, I suffered from malnutrition. Meal to meal, scraping together whatever remains I could to sustain. Oh, how the tables have turned. Lessons learned. Never forget to thank those that wait the tables, and especially those that reset the tables. When karma's in order, there's no menu. You get served what you deserve. The isolation was beginning to set in. I succumbed to my own ways. There are wounds that are not seen on the body, that are deeper and more hurtful than those that bleed. You are not alone. The pain we have experienced, some would say, is unbearable. And the people we have become, unrecognizable. We'll never be the same. Ever. 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 For all that I have, I owe it all to you. For those of us that didn't make it, this one's for you. And I mean that. This one's for you. I don't know how long I spent on that floor, or from where I drew the strength to continue on. Some believe in spirits, some believe in the forces of energy. But whatever you believe in, I ask you believe in yourself first. There's an old story of an ancient flower that traveled the globe, and from whence it came, it was viewed as a symbol of beauty and elegance. But on the other side of the rock, it was dubbed a parting pair for death. Wherever our petals fall, I ask, may they lay claim on fertile lands. It's a metaphor, for we are all the same, and when laid to rest in shared soils for an eternity, this will be. I continued writing after what was later resolved a comatose state. Due to a lack of nutrition, hypoglycemia had ran its course. When I gathered the remaining courage, I pressed forward and collected my emergency items and stayed put in hopes of periodically checking for running water as a sign of the decline, the convalescent stage. I remained sanguine, optimistic, against all odds. It was bigger than me. This was for us, all of us. We as a people will overcome. I know we will. We have to. And before I go, All right, people. Well, it's looking like that's a wrap. From start to finish, this has been a truly memorable experience. In all seriousness, we took our quarantine weekend to compile all these clips, do a bunch of different costumes and wardrobes, as well as cosmetics. It was frustrating. It was joyful. It was the full spectrum in terms of emotions to do. And all this was pretty much done in awareness for those that are one, in quarantine, and or those that have a family member that is suffering and going through it at this present time. So we wanted to put out something. I know there's a lot of things floating around on the internet that's either in good taste or less than that. And we wanted to make sure that what we put out was, it's the best that we could do. But at least it's spreading the awareness, because there's other families, there's other countries that are going through a lot more than, let's just say, us at an individual level are going through. So with that being said, we just want to say thanks. If nothing else, you can share this if you like, you can do all the typical promo stuff. But in all actuality, we just want everyone to stay safe, and do your part. We all have older people in our families, and it seems to be the trend that those latter in life are suffering the most. So in all seriousness, if nothing else, stay in, because younger folks may not be as affected, but people's older family members are more susceptible to this. So I just want to wrap this up, and it's kind of a lengthy ending, but we just want everybody to stay safe out there, and keep a smile in your heart. So with that, peace.